Hey everybody, Luke back from the breakdown. Today we're going to be taking a look at Nature's Blue pond dye. Now, this house I bought came with a pond, and I absolutely love it. Got this beautiful waterfall. Would never have spent the money on this myself, but it's a really cool thing here. Problem is, kind of always looks a little dingy green. I've worked really hard, pull a lot of chlorine in this, clean it out, drain it, do all kinds of stuff. Always ends up with kind of this dingy low color here. And after talking to some people who are doing this kind of stuff, they say basically what happens here is this is so shallow, the water gets warm, algae grows. It's very hard to stop it. And that's where this dye comes in, to try to help A, keep the sun from getting to the bottom, limit the amount of growth from the sunlight. 2, give it kind of a blue color. So we're going to kind of pour this in and test it. Now a few things, if you want to find this on Amazon, I will put a link to it on the show notes down below and in the first pinned comment there, so you can find it on Amazon. Also, if you want to help us grow this channel, hit the subscribe button, hit the thumbs up. It really does help us because it lets YouTube know you enjoy what we do here. So with that said, let's jump into it. You're supposed to pour this into a few different areas. I'm going to pour it in now and come back here in about a day and let you see how it looks from there. So I've just put the blue dye in, it just kind of ran its course. Here it is right off the bat. Now, I think I may have put too much in here. The good news is if I did, this blue dye will very quickly dissipate over time, because you're supposed to top it off every month. So I'm not going to freak out if I put too much in. But we're going to try this out and see how it works. My recommendation right off the bat is put just a little in and wait, because when I put it in, at first it was like, oh, this is great. Then I was like, it's not really spreading out that well. And I put, when you read the thing, it talks about putting spreading it around the edge of the pond. So I did that at one other spot, and then it very quickly turned to deep blue. So the good news is, if I don't like it, it will just wash away in time as the sun burns it off. And you can always put more water in to dilute it if you would like to also. But let's come back in a day. Let's see in 24 hours what this dye looks like once it's in there. I'm not completely upset with the color, but I also kind of wish it was just a little bit lighter right now. And that's the great thing about dye. You want it darker, you put more in. Okay, so it's been a little over 24 hours now since I put the dye in, and it's definitely darker than I thought it was going to be. Definitely make sure you pay close attention to how much dye you want in. My suggestion is to always start light and add more later. You can always go darker. It's hard to go lighter as it with dye. Now overall, I do kind of like it. I'll be honest, this is a deeper blue than I really thought it would be from it. And I think a lot of it has to do with having a little bit too much in, even though I thought I was putting the correct amount according to the measurements. It turns out I really was not. So keep that in mind. Overall though, I'm pretty happy with the results. Definitely kind of removes a little bit of dingy look at the bottom here. I'm gonna definitely let this lighten up and just put a very tiny amount in for the future. So keep that all in mind. They're not joking when they say that this is a high density version. Concentrated is what I probably should say there. Okay, so it's been quite some time, and I put some chlorine in here to clean it out a little bit, so you're gonna notice some foam. But you get a much better idea here of what the color looks like here. A lot closer. Even that down there is a little bit darker. It's a little foamy looking too, or foggy I should say, because of the chlorine I just put in this, clean it out. But this color is a lot more closer to what I want, especially down there. I'll keep letting this line up a little bit more. I think pretty soon, just a tiny dab of this will fill up the color. So keep that in mind. This color does kind of wane after time, especially with rain and washout and all that. They suggest you top it off every now and then to keep the color the way you want it. And I do kind of like the light, just barely there color. Hopefully it does help with the sun, help keep the sun off the bottom, help keep the algae growth down. So if you like this video, if we helped you, hit a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, help us grow this channel. And as always, check back for another video real soon.